purpose of this role is to display the progress of the game on the scoreboard. Many of the control panels look similar to this, and you've probably seen it before. The first thing to do is to clear the scoreboard from the previous game. Make sure the clock is switched off by switching it upwards, then hold the undo reset button until you see the scores, fouls and timeouts clear from the scoreboard. The second thing to do is to set up the time for the first half of the game. For most APS games, except the firsts, we're playing 18-minute halves. The referee usually sets up the time, but if not, you simply make sure the clock is switched off, then press the reset button, which will automatically show 20 minutes, and then you press the adjust time button to display 18 minutes. And this is what it should look like. When it's time to start, you simply flick the switch downwards to run the clock. But before the game starts, you need to work out which team will be light and dark on the scoreboard. Usually, this is the predominant colour being worn by the players. The idea is that anyone walking off the street could look at the scoreboard and work out which team was in front. The key things you will do during the game are to tap the red buttons to add scores, the team total of fouls and timeouts. For example, if Light scores a field goal, 2 points are added to Light by pressing this button twice. If a foul is called against a player on the dark team, it's added to the team total by pressing this button. Another important button is the siren. This is to help communication with the referee. If a coach is asking for a timeout or a player is asking to be subbed on, the referee will usually see it, but just in case, you need to be ready to let them know. When play stops for a whistle, pip the siren. It's also useful to use the siren if the score bench hasn't understood a referee call, such as which player a foul was called against. The undo button is used to correct a scoreboard error. For example, if you add a foul to dark, but it should be on light. You press and hold down the undo button for about 3 seconds and you'll see it take the last change off the scoreboard. Then you put the foul on light. If there's been a bit of a delay before you see the error, there are a few extra steps to take. Here we've added a foul to dark, making there's 3 team fouls, but it should have been on light. But we didn't see it straight away, and Light has scored 2 more points, bringing their total to 14. But we still need to take the foul off dark and add to Light. So you add another foul to dark because that's the detail you want it to change. Then you press and hold the undo button to take off the foul you just added. Then you press again to take off the original error. So now it shows 2 fouls on dark. Then you can add the foul to light, taking them up to 3 team fouls. It might seem a bit complicated, but don't stress. If you have a problem, the referee will help fix it in the next break in play, such as at a timeout. And remember, the score sheet is the primary record. A big question for a lot of people is deciding when to start the clock. At the start of the game, the referee will sometimes switch on the clock when they call the players onto the court. If not, just watch the jump ball. Start the clock when the ball has been touched by a player. At the end of the first half, click off the clock by switching upwards and set up 2 minutes for the halftime break. To do this, press reset, it'll show 20 minutes, then press adjust time to take it down to 2 minutes and then click on the clock straight away. Sometimes the referee will do this, but you should be ready to take care of it if they don't. While the halftime break is running, clear the team fouls by clicking through the total until 0 comes up, and clear the timeouts by clicking through these as well. When the siren sounds for the end of the halftime break, click off the clock, press reset and then adjust time to bring it down to 18 minutes for the second half. You start the clock when the ball is touched in court. The final 3 minutes of the game need your careful attention. You keep adding scores, team fouls and timeouts as usual, and you need to stop the clock for shooting fouls, timeouts and substitutions. The referee's whistle is your signal to stop for these, and then the clock starts again when the ball has been touched in play. Some people get worried about restarting the clock after free throws for a shooting foul. It's simply this: if the shot is missed, you wait until the ball is touched in play, then the clock comes on. If the shot is successful, just wait. The other team will get a baseline throw in, and the clock starts when the ball is touched in court after it's thrown in. This might seem like a lot to remember, but it is easier when you're sitting at the score bench. Throughout the game, watch carefully for player numbers as they're scoring, and that will help your score table buddy if you're watching too. Good communication between the school bench parents is important for making sure the scoreboard matches the sheet. Now, we hope you found this helpful and invite you to have a look at the refresher about score sheets as well.